Hello and welcome to the channel. The Leaders Coffee Club aims to help educate and grow current and future leaders. In today's video, we are going to discuss the characteristics of a great leader. In its most basic form, leadership is convincing others to follow. As a result, anyone who can persuade others to follow them have leadership abilities.
Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon for more informative videos.
Leadership takes place at all levels of organizations and society, not only among people in designated leadership positions. Leadership can mean different things to different people, cultures, and situations. However, the job is always multifaceted. Followers can succeed when their leaders are effective. It establishes a course of action, creates a vision, and adjusts to changing conditions. Leadership is about determining where you need to go in order to win as a team or organization. It's vibrant, exciting, and motivating. What exactly is a leader? The term leader can invoke a range of images. As an example, a political leader pursuing a deeply personal cause, an explorer venturing into the wilderness, an executive who creates strategies to attain organizational goals. This video focuses on leaders and workplace leadership. Different people have different ideas about who can and should lead. Some believe, rather than the typical top-down approach, leadership is more effective when it originates from the bottom up. And in today's complicated, multinational workplaces, leadership can come from a variety of sources. Indeed, in some businesses, executives in supervisory positions may have the most effect. After all, supervisors are the ones who are most familiar with the work of team members and the needs of the customer. Individuals are sometimes required to take on leadership responsibilities among their peers. Leadership is no longer viewed as a single endeavor. Distributed leadership, which started in education, is a growing leadership strategy, not least because many businesses today are just too huge and complicated for any single leader to control alone. What is the importance of leadership? Good leadership is required in all companies. Organizations that are well-led are more productive, competitive, and adaptable to change. Their staff are more engaged and driven because they have a clearer vision of where they are going and why. Organizations that thrive in developing leaders tend to be more profitable in the long run. What characteristics characterize a good leader? An effective leader does the following things: develops a future vision, works nicely with groups, ensures the success of their team. Flexibility is demonstrated. Leadership brings together the talents required to accomplish these tasks. Each component will be examined in greater depth. Leaders develop a vision. A vision is a persuasive, realistic, and appealing depiction of where you wish to go in the future. Vision offers direction, clarifies priorities, and identifies success markers. Leaders keep their goal in mind while also being aware of the realities of the present. They then incorporate that vision into all they do and look for methods to link it to employee performance to make it a reality. Leaders evaluate how their industry will change and how their competitors will behave. They consider how they may successfully innovate and shape their businesses and tactics to succeed in future markets. They also put their ambitions to the test with stakeholders and by identifying significant risks using tools like scenario analysis. As a result, leaders are proactive, fixing problems, looking ahead, and not content with the status quo. People can see, feel, comprehend, and accept a compelling vision. Inspiring leaders paint a vivid picture of what the future will look like once their ambitions are achieved. They share inspiring stories and explain their visions in ways that everybody can understand. Leadership here mixes the analytical side of vision creation with a love for shared values, resulting in something significant to the people they lead. Leaders are good team players. Leaders cannot fulfill their vision without the help of others. The ability of a leader to encourage and work with others aids in the delivery of that vision. As a result, effective leadership is heavily reliant on interpersonal abilities. Leaders must understand and respect their team members as individuals and know how to bring out the best in them as they collaborate. Understanding team dynamics will help here. At all levels, effective leaders recognize and appreciate their followers' needs and perspectives. Leaders who pay close attention to how their employees feel about their jobs and what inspires them personally can take proactive, appropriate initiatives to improve engagement and retention. A significant source of motivation is the degree to which people feel valued. Effective leaders appreciate their team members' accomplishments and find methods to convey their gratitude. Another crucial leadership skill is the capacity to delegate and empower others. If done well, it can relieve leaders from day-to-day operations and allow them to focus on broader strategy, inform the vision with new ideas, and excite team members. However, this is dependent on an organizational atmosphere of trust and confidence. Effective leaders also look for prospective leaders in others. By cultivating leadership abilities within your team, you may build an environment conducive to long-term success. Holding back your people out of fear of losing authority is self-sabotage. Leaders facilitate success. At the start of a new endeavor, enthusiasm might be strong. However, it is up to leaders to take their teams over the finish line and provide them with the necessary tools. People require goals and metrics that are closely related to the vision. Restating the vision in terms of its impact, as well as using frequent opportunities to communicate this and its associated objectives in an appealing and engaging manner, can help to further entrench things. Leaders must guarantee that the work required to deliver results is managed appropriately, either by themselves or by delegating to a committed manager or team of managers. They will also provide team members with the skills and talents they need to accomplish their jobs and achieve the vision. They accomplish this through providing and receiving feedback on a regular basis, educating and coaching employees, and encouraging collaboration and skill sharing throughout the firm. Change management is another critical skill for leaders to master, as communicating and delivering the vision will almost certainly necessitate new attitudes, methods, and roles for many, as well as time for adjustment. Leaders are adaptable. Leaders must be adaptive, learning how and when to shift focus and embracing change. Globalization of business, for example, is one of the most powerful aspects in how leadership is implemented in organizations today, along with the shift toward virtual and hybrid environments. Marshall Goldsmith, an executive coach and author, outlined 5 emerging attributes that he anticipated will become increasingly relevant to future leaders. They can consider the big picture, respect cultural differences, develop your technological knowledge, form alliances and collaborations. Leadership should be shared. Leaders gain from using multiple leadership models based on the situation. A directive style, for example, is typically ideal when working with new employees or in situations when quick judgments are necessary. An experienced team, on the other hand, benefits from a more hands-off approach. Similarly, some situations necessitate a greater focus on the task at hand, and others necessitate a greater emphasis on relationship building. Employees increasingly want to work with leaders that provide the most challenging and rewarding developing opportunities, as well as a culture that makes staying worthwhile beyond the simple security of a paycheck. In this circumstance, a less dictatorial and more participatory approach to leadership is likely to be more effective. Transformational leadership is a particularly beneficial paradigm. 3 things leaders avoid. What we require from leaders has evolved over time. The following have historically been connected with leadership, but are no longer always perceived or desired for leadership today. 1. Management versus leadership. Leadership and management are not synonymous. They are distinct processes that work in tandem. And while leaders establish the course for the work, they must also employ management abilities to take their teams to the proper destination in a smooth and effective manner. Management has been defined as the effective and efficient attainment of organizational goals through planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling organizational resources. Today, we would add the obligations of people development and exercising a duty of care to the list. Individuals in management roles are increasingly expected to exhibit what are more commonly referred to as leadership behaviors, such as articulating a compelling vision, inspiring, and motivating their team, acting strategically, and leading change. Managers can be extremely knowledgeable, competent, and important to their firms, while without displaying leadership skills. However, one special risk in these settings is that people or organizations controlled by such an individual or group may assume they are being led, although they are not. there could be no leadership at all, with no one setting a vision or inspiring anyone. This can lead to major issues in the long run. So, leadership and management are not mutually exclusive tasks, but are much more likely to be chosen and performed on a case-by-case basis, depending on the circumstances. French and Raven's 5 forms of power. Legitimate. This stems from the assumption that one has the formal right to make demands and expect others to comply and obey. Reward. This is the ability of one individual to recompense another for conformity. Expert. A person with a high level of competence and knowledge is considered an expert. Referent. The outcome of a person's considered attractiveness, worthiness, and right to be respected by others. Coercive. This stems from the assumption that one can punish others for disobeying. Informational. This comes from a person's capacity to control the information that others require to complete a task. Knowledge sharing, innovation, and the ability to anticipate and resolve the requirements of stakeholders are all highly valued qualities in today's enterprises. As a result, the leader as hero concept has been largely abandoned in favor of a more people-centered leadership style in which leaders demonstrate a willingness to work in the best interests of employees, customers, and other stakeholders. Not to be obsessed with leadership styles. However, until a leader's personal views align with the organization's leadership identity, it will be difficult for the leader to appear authentic and credible. Organizational structure. While leadership ideals were formerly hierarchical, this may no longer be the case. Leadership is evolving to include scattered action. People admire and trust these leaders because they are specialists in their fields. They have credibility, and they deserve to be heard and followed. This greatly facilitates these leaders' ability to motivate and inspire their teams. To be credible in the eyes of their employees and stakeholders, good leaders must be flexible, adaptable, ethical, and culturally sensitive. Today's and tomorrow's effective leaders will discuss, collaborate, and distribute power in order to get the most out of themselves, their teams, and the business. Leaders benefit from understanding that their role can make them intimidating to the people they oversee and taking steps to counteract that. Corporate leaders, for example, make judgments about other people's job security and remuneration. As a result, a good leader should strive to be approachable and trustworthy, as well as to show individuals that it is acceptable to make and learn from mistakes. Distributed leadership has its origins in education, and Astros is the result of an interconnected network of persons, rather than the act of a single person. Astros enables previously excluded individuals to assume positions of leadership. Astros represents the concept that expertise and influence are distributed throughout the business, rather than centralized in the hands of a few individuals. Because of the advancement of sophisticated online technology, new types of organizations focused on mass collaboration have emerged. Although such self-organizing groups have founders and leaders, their leadership style differs from that of more traditional businesses. They protect the ethos, values, and guidelines of the communities they serve. Effective leaders aren't those who can express the relationship between where they've come from and where they're going, are comfortable with their roots, are self-aware, and can change as they progress up the ranks without losing their authenticity. Authentic leaders are truthful, accountable, and courageous. They stay true to themselves rather than attempting to mold themselves into the type of leader they believe they should be. They lead with a sense of purpose, meaning, and values, cultivate long-term connections with people, and practice self-discipline. Authentic leaders, according to George, establish authentic businesses that are less prone to mismanagement and corruption, and are better positioned to provide long-term value to their consumers and investors. Holacracy is a more contemporary, non-hierarchical leadership model. This paradigm divides departments into circles and sub-circles based on their duties and purposes. Sub-circles meet on a regular basis and make their own decisions while keeping the organization's needs in mind, the largest all-inclusive circle. Members of sub-circles are designated to represent them, act as go-betweens, and ensure that their subtasks are met. Everyone has authority and responsibility in this approach, and everyone employs leadership abilities to self-manage. How to become a more effective leader? At both the academic and organizational levels, perceptions toward leadership have shifted dramatically. top-down autocratic leadership is now universally regarded as having significantly less relevance in today's firms, which face fast change and must battle to survive in a very competitive and increasingly global marketplace. Finally, that authenticity stems from humility, which she defines as a form of quiet confidence in which the person remains open to advice. Takeaway thoughts. Leadership is complicated and ever-changing. Leaders provide direction and assist others in doing the correct thing to move forward. To accomplish this, they'd establish an exciting vision and then motivate and inspire people to help them achieve it. They'd also manage the vision's delivery, either directly or indirectly, and they create and coach their teams to make them stronger. They are adaptable and adapt to their surroundings. Management positions, personality qualities, or hierarchies do not limit effective leadership. Good leaders, on the other hand, exemplify expert power, credibility, trust, and authenticity. All of this is part of effective leadership, and it's thrilling to be a part of it.
That's it for today, guys. What did you think of the video? Please share with us in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon for more incredible videos.